started right after the first Baja 1000. The first Baja 1000, you know well, was in 1967. But early part of 68, one day I was reading a magazine. I open it and there's an article on the Baja 1000, but there's one photo that did it all. Somebody climbed the top of a mountain and took a photo, I think it was Drino Miller, in the single seat car within all the cactus and one small road and the car there. When I saw that photo, I said, I've got to do this. And that's where it all started.
SCORE International was actually started back in 1972-73 by the late Mickey Thompson. The truest form of motorsports, as far as I'm concerned, that you can find.
SCORE is very unique in the world of off-road or of all motorsports. You can have multiple drivers, you can have multiple co-drivers. We have so many different classes that allow pretty much anyone that wants to come down and race off-road can come down here and participate with the best guys in the world.
When you compare it to anything else in racing, this you do everything. You make right-hand turns, left-hand turns, go through silt beds, through the forests, 100-degree temperature to rain. It's really an adventure.
We have 4 races throughout the year: San Felipe 250, the Baja 400, the 500, and the big one, which is the Baja 1000.
Yeah, the San Felipe 250 is part of the 4-race series, right? It's the first one. It's how we kick off our year, and it's the shortest one.
San Felipe is one of my favorite places in the world.
This is my favorite race of the year. We're right here on the Malecone. The beach is right here. The people are amazing. There's just so much love and history of off-road in this town. When we come down here, it's like the Super Bowl coming to town. They close down schools. Everybody's down here. We're going to see today, this place is going to be packed.
This is our first race of the SCORE World Desert Championship 2023. This is our 50th anniversary. So this year is going to be really, really special.
The reason I decided to come to San Felipe when we put the 500 on and the 1000, which are basically out of Ensenada, which is on the west coast of the peninsula, we would always, to get miles, come over to here. And I realized at that time that the terrain here was still very virgin, and it was just a perfect place to put on a race.
And the San Felipe 250, of course, has the roughest terrain in the world.
This is known as the roughest part of Baja. It's got the biggest whoop, the deepest silt beds, because all the races, the 1000, the 500, the 400, all come through San Felipe. So this terrain is the most beat up in Baja, and they love coming through here. So this race is shorter, but it's mile per mile, pound per pound. This is by far the toughest race.
This race really sets the tone for the season. This is a point series of 4 races, and you got to get a good start and get your points going. San Felipe is going to let you know how you can do the rest of the season.
I love San Felipe. I love the people down here. I love the town. It's one of my most favorite races of the entire year. It's just, it's cool because it's local. It's 250-ish miles. It's a little more this year, but it's a full sprint. So I love it. The course is brutal as always, but it goes from brutal to a lot of fun, fast sand washes with a lot of different lines. So there's a lot of lines, a lot of pre-running, a lot of strategy that goes into it.
San Felipe is our hometown race. Raised in Mexicali. My dad grew up in Mexicali. So this has always been like our backyard. My dad won in 2003 overall. We were very fortunate and won it in 13, 14, and 15 overall. The particular style that this race kind of demands of a driver suits my driving style well, which is an aggressive driving style. But obviously when you're out there on the course and you see the red shirts, you see the Mexican flag, you see people supporting the 21, it gives me chills, to think that all these people are cheering for me, are cheering for our success. It's that pressure, right? That there is expectations, but I'm comfortable with it.
It's our first race of the year. It's one where we go qualify for starting position, so it's a little more intense than some of the other races. And for 250 miles, it feels like at the end of the race, you just raced the Baja 1000. So it's brutal. It kicks off our year, and it also leads into how you finish is how you start the next race. So it's a big one. It's only 250 miles. That's what's so wild, is it takes us 4.5 hours to finish this race. But there's a point in this race that if you push too hard, you're gonna break the truck just because the terrain is so rough. So I think having that knowledge of when to push, when to hold back to conserve is gonna be a big key here.
It's a lot of high-speed sections. There's a lot of gotcha rocks and ditches. It's real easy to get up to speed here because it's not, not a lot of mountainous, tight, twisty stuff, but a lot of areas where you can get a truck, well over 100 miles an hour. And if you don't have, ditches and rocks and all the gotchas marked, it can end your race and potentially hurt you.
It's 250 miles of jackhammering your truck to death. I think there's more DQs in this race than probably any race, just because it's so rough, so violent, and the guys are going wide open because it's a sprint race. I know that's hard to believe, or people say that, but it really is. If you watch, there's very few people that just try to hold back. You're really running full speed.
San Felipe is just a different animal. It's a different type of race. San Felipe is washes. San Felipe is sand. San Felipe is whoops. I like to go hard. I mean, I like to push, and this suits what I'd like to do.
We've been doing this a long time, and I really love racing here in San Felipe. We've had, I think, 6 overall wins here, so it's one of my favorite races, and we'd love nothing more to try to get another one today.
The environment here is unreal, and the off-road racing here is massive. So yeah, it's good to be against the best guys in the world.
My name is Bryce Menzies. I'm a professional off-road racer. I drive the number 7 Red Bull off-road trophy truck. This is actually my 16th year racing off-road. My dad's been my biggest supporter since I started racing. I raced dirt bikes when I was young. He was out there sweeping my gates all the way till I was racing single buggy, Volkswagen engines up into a trophy truck.
Bryce was racing motorcycles, and I think we were on our 9th broken bone, and I think we were done with that, and we decided to go to a cage. He came to me one day and said he had this series called SCORE Racing, and I had no idea what it was, but it was a little buggy, and kind of caught the bug from there. And that was 2007. Had a blast. Best year I think we ever had.
My name's Toby Price. We're all the way from over in Australia. Coming over here to race against the best off-road racers in the world, basically. So my normal, 9 to 5 job is racing motorcycles. But yeah, I dabble a little bit here and there in trophy truck stuff. So to come here to the San Felipe 250, it's always exciting.
My name's Tavo Vildosola. I've been racing for 23 years now. My dad's fault that I got into this racing thing. My dad started racing in the late 60s. He's been doing this since he was 16 years old. I also started when I was about 16, 17 years old. So I guess you can say that it kind of runs in the family, right?
He's the guy that pushes me. It's a huge family sport. Like when you come down, I get to hang out with my dad for 8 days straight. And that's something that I wish every person could do, just because the bondage we have. We've been through it all, and he's been a big, big key in Menzies Motorsports.
I've always been proud of Bryce, whether he does this or raising his kids or helping in the business. Bryce has been a pleasure to have as a son.
For many years, my dad and I shared the seat. Then he moved on and started racing Legend.
He's learned from me, I've learned from him. I am extremely proud of Tavo. I think when a person has an accomplishment, it's very satisfying, but when your son likes the same sport that you do, has the passion that I do, and excels at it, it just makes me one of the happiest dads around.
Trophy truck is it's pretty much unlimited. You could do anything you want to the truck besides tire height is 42 inches.
The unlimited class, so that's where it's at. That's what the people want to get. That's the biggest, baddest class. That's what people want to win, SCORE trophy truck.
A trophy truck is an unlimited vehicle. Pretty much anything goes. It has to be a truck, and the safety rules are the only real rules about the vehicle.
We're seeing people try so many new things, and that's what's cool about our sport is it's unlimited, that people can come in and try new stuff. They put turbos on these trucks, superchargers. Everybody kind of throws everything at it to see what's gonna work. Right now, four-wheel drive is, I think, the new feature of the sport.
Trophy trucks is a class that was created several years ago where you have that distinction and you know that you are on a major racing machine when you're on board a trophy truck.
These things are the baddest off-road vehicles in the planet, basically. So they will go through some pretty rough terrain at high rates of speed, and yeah, there's nothing else like them in the world, basically. So I don't know. I think that's what kind of gets me excited for them, and I've gone flat out, love going fast. So these definitely tick all the boxes for that.
These guys are really hanging it out. You know, they'll be running 100, 130 over terrain that if you went 5 miles an hour, you'd think, oh my God, you're gonna break the vehicle. They're very sophisticated. The drivers are very, very well orientated because they pre-ran the course.
I race nowadays a Mason all-wheel drive, and that's really a fun truck to drive. It's just so fast. With the all-wheel drive, it comes out of the corners. Totally different though. I had to relearn to drive from the two-wheel drive. You don't pitch it into the corners and throttle it through. This guy is a totally different technique, but it's been a lot of fun, and we've been very fortunate to have excellent results.
The technology has really ramped up where these four-wheel drives are now the truck you really need to win these races. So it's a big advantage as long as all the parts hold up. As the San Felipe is so rough, it's going to be challenging for these trucks for sure.
Last year, finally, we said, okay, that's it, right? Like, we're not racing the old truck anymore, the 2011 truck anymore. And we purchased a Mason. Mason, obviously, the all-wheel drive Mason truck. And this is our third race in it. I raced my dad's Mason at the Baja 1000 2021. We got second overall, which was great. But this will be my third race in my Mason, which is a little bit different. There's a couple of little different things that we've done. And at the 1000, we were very unfortunate. It caught on fire. At the 400 last year, we finished 9th. Had a couple of like little issues with it. I think we worked them out. We had a great qualifying run. We've had great testing this season. I just can't wait to see what Blackjack does tomorrow.
Off-road racing, we're usually competing against Baja. And if you're gonna win the race, you're gonna win the race because you gave a lot of respect to what you're racing on.
I hate the Baja 1000. And that is the toughest frickin' race to win, and we have yet to win that thing.
Baja 1000 is one of those, I call it my kryptonite. I've been racing it for 11 years and somehow it's slipped away. I've won every other race. I think that's why we come back, is it's so challenging, it's so hard. That's Baja.
It's a heartbreaker. We put in so much work to pre-run. We know what it takes to win, but it seems like every year it's bad luck, you know, just something that we've never had fail before finds a way to fail, and it's never stuff we can repair and bounce back from. It's always something catastrophic.
Hopefully this year will be ours. We're going to start in La Paz and head to Ensenada. Very excited about that. I think that's a cool format. You know, usually we leave Ensenada and, you know, it's a loop race where we come back, but this year is going to be very cool to finish there.
I've been asked that question so many times about what's that going to feel like to win the Baja 1000, and honestly, I don't know. I've won so many races, but that's the one that just keeps holding out. So I think it's just going to be so much relief. Me and my dad have put so many hours, so much time, so much money into this sport, into that race, and I know it's going to come. And when it does, honestly, I think it's going to take a while to set in just for how long we've been trying to win this race, but it's going to be one of those that I'll believe I'll remember for the rest of my life.
I think one of the particular things about San Felipe is that here you're racing VCP to VCP, and what that means is virtual checkpoints, right? So there are geo-fences placed along the course that SCORE gives us that we have to hit, right? Like Pac-Man eating the little balls, right? So we have to hit all those geo-fences. Now, what makes San Felipe, again, interesting is that from geofence to geofence or VCP to VCP, there could be one line or there could be 10 lines, right? And part of getting ready for San Felipe is all this pre-running and work and dedication and just getting your homework in for the race. And it's so important here to where it's very important in Ensenada, it's very important for the 500 and the 1,000 and the 400, but in San Felipe it is exponentially more important because you miss a line and someone takes it and that's a 1 minute line or a 30-second line and they're in front of you. And then getting around them again or trying to get around them again is almost impossible. So the pre-San Felipe work that goes into it is different.
You see a lot of cars off course. I mean, a lot of broke vehicles out here, especially in pre-run, and they're coming out here, they're feeling out the course. And that's their homework. They come down here, they pre-run, they have their navigator punching in course notes, which means like if there's a big gotcha, a tough section, a hard left, maybe a gnarly rock on a corner you want to be on the inside. So they mark all those spots. They'll put hundreds and hundreds of course notes.
Pre-run race trucks are so awesome. Just cool.
Came down Saturday, so that's 7 days before the race, to be able to come down, start preparing for the race. We get to go out, pre-run the course, which means we take a truck on the race course, mark the notes. My co-driver, who's sitting next to me, will mark rock on right, danger, cliff, all that sort of stuff. So we spend many hours, many days down here destroying the course before we actually get to go race it on Saturday. Today was a wild day. We went out pre-running. We've been down here for 6 days now, and I was pre-running. Actually went to try to see if I could find a line. Went over a little tiny 4-foot ledge, and on the other side was like a 15-foot drop into a ditch. So that's how my day started, and we kind of hurt that truck doing that. So I jumped out of that truck after we had to dig it out for over an hour to get it out of there. Jumped in my pre-runner, and we were running up by race mile 80 and actually hit a ditch that broke the right rear trailing arm and catapulted us 3 times end over end.
Yeah, we're out here at the crash site right now trying to get her cleaned up a little bit. Looks like we had a part failure, and yeah, it was pretty catastrophic. Hey, that's the way it goes. You know, we run these cars so hard and eventually parts fail.
It happened so quick. It's hard to process it happened so quick. So all of a sudden we're in a left-hand turn, we're sliding around, it fails and it launches us back, driver's side. And Bryce has got the wheel turn trying to steer into it. And really, it's just so much noise and it's just violent, snappy motion. It's like, you didn't know what the hell was going on. But we ended up hanging upside down and, quick, everyone okay check. And then just figuring out how we can get out of the car and see what the hell happened, make sure no one else hits us, but it was crazy.
We just ran all the way to race mile, I think we're at like 220 right here, and just verified all of our lines. So we're gonna go back up in the heli, just kind of look over some stuff, check some more stuff out, and then go back, eat some good dinner, get rested. Tomorrow's qualifying. Desert racing is it's very tough when you're behind somebody. The dust is so bad, and you have to actually run through the dust, hit the guy in front of you to let him know that you're behind him to move over, or try to find another line, which is very difficult. For the first race of the year, we get to go qualify, and qualifying determines where you start in the race. Biggest thing is try to start out front. You have no dust, clean air, you get to see where you're going.
Coming into qualifying, I was, trust me, I was definitely nervous. When you see the lineup, there's the trucks behind us now. There's a lot of good stacked field behind us, and We put in a really good lap, and to be starting P1 today, for sure it's a bit nerve-wracking time, but I guess at the end of the day, kind of good spot to be. We control the pace. We're happy. So it's after the Baja 1000 event we had, it was good to get a bit of redemption there and get it on pole and get Paul Wheeler a good truck when he jumps in.
I was very happy that we finally got a good result qualifying, which matters nothing if we don't do well tomorrow. I'm very conscious of that, but there was a plan. The plan is top 5 qualifying, check. We go out and win the San Felipe 250, and that means we start first at the Baja 500. That's the plan to kick off the year, and it's a multi-step plan, and there's a lot of things that are involved, but at least step 1 is accomplished.
Qualifying went okay. It was a new area, which was awesome. You know, we're out of the sand pit, which is something all us racers asked Jose G to do, and he got that done, so hats off to him for getting that done. As far as qualifying goes, it wasn't my best run ever. I was a little bit off on a couple things, but that's okay because it landed us in a 4th place starting position. So as far as starting position goes, which is what qualifying is all about, I love it. We're starting 4th. We got 3 really fast guys ahead of us. I think that's going to play in our favor, and we got a really good starting spot. So I had wished we did better, but at the same time, we landed a great starting spot. So that's all that matters because, you know, the clock starts at 0 today here at the start line on Saturday.
Last year, we really pushed in qualifying, wanted to start out front every single race. This year, going into San Felipe, there's so many lines, and it's very easy to pass here. And I kind of wanted to start a little bit further back, but we pushed as hard as we could in qualifying. We came away in 3rd. There's a lot of top guys that have trucks that are all-wheel drive now that are really gonna push the sport ahead. So it's gonna be a fast race. I believe we're gonna average over 60 miles an hour, but we ended up 3rd in qualifying, and I think it's a perfect start for the San Felipe 250.
Yeah, this year starting 3rd, you know, Bryce loves to start up front and set the pace. The times I enjoy kind of being back a couple spots because it's fun to hunt down other cars. It's fun chasing dust, and when you see, you know, a glimpse of a roof or an amber light over some bushes, like, you know, you're on it, you're catching time. Being in front, you know, to me, it's hard to tell if you're going fast enough, how close they are, where everybody's at. But you know, we've got 2 really good guys in front of us with Toby Price and Tavo Vildosla. They're going to set a really fast pace, and it'll be fun to chase them and just see what kind of rhythm we set into. And also having, you know, the McMillans and Potts. So there's so many fast guys in that front pack. I know it's going to be, you know, everyone kind of testing to see how fast everyone's willing to go, and the goal is to be fast enough that people can't make a move on you and get around you, and then you get stuck behind somebody else. So hopefully just a clean push, wait for other guys to make mistakes.
Everyone who's outside of the tent, can you go inside of the tent so that way we're not speaking in 360 degrees? I haven't mastered that one yet. Yeah, so we've been down here praying for 8 days. I did a small section this morning, right? And then I get this message that says, hey, the alternate route for the San Felipe 250 now is the mandatory route. I'm like, well, that changes everything. There's a course change. Some of you might be aware of it, some of you might not, but so they eliminated the mini summit. That means that we're adding around 20 miles to the race course, okay? So that throws off what our original plan was of having both trucks stop at main pit at race mile 165. The logistics that we've been planning on for the last 2 months or month and a half since the course has been out, throw that in the trash, because our main pit, now you can't get to the main pit on 1 tank of fuel. So the trucks and the MPGs that we were getting down here testing indicate that we won't make it to that pit. So there now alternate pit, which was at race mile 121, is now pit 1. And main pit, which is at 187, is now pit 2.
What happened was that we wanted to use a section called the Mini Summit, which has been used in the past, but had not been used like in around 20 years. There were several problems that started presenting themselves during pre-running with some of the teams. We listened to a lot of the racers, their opinions, their proposals.
So for pit 1, Blackjack is stopping at pit 1, and we're taking on fuel and 2 rear tires. And then we'll stop again at pit 2 for a full service pit. That's what we're gonna stay with.
This is a race where you can have the lead change like every 5-10 minutes, whether it's bikes, quads, or vehicles. And we didn't want a bottleneck there and have people stuck there for 1 or 2 hours.
I'm glad that they eliminated it. It kind of shuffled everything, but we're good at responding to things that change last minute. If anyone remembers, was it 2013 when it rained, they eliminate the summit, and we won. When you're attacking San Felipe, you first worry about Baja, right? And like, Baja is 90% in your head. And then you look at Toby Price, Bryce Menzies, Luke McMillan, Alan Ampudia, like you start looking at your competition. I think that what Toby and Paul did at qualifying first, I think it's significant. I think that they did an amazing job. They were going super hard. They were going for Q1.
I think it's awesome that Toby and Paul Wheeler are out here, 2 guys from Australia. Toby actually raced with me in the Baja 1000 one year.
They bring some experience, you know, from of course rally racing to off-road racing, and to be the top qualifier for coming over here, that's the incredible thing. They just said, oh wow, the Aussies are here to play.
To see him go out there and qualify really good, I'm super stoked for him. It's cool to see other guys come into our sport to really help us grow, challenge each other in another country, and go from there.
If you can see in the background there, you've got Tavo, the McMillans, and Bryce, and all them guys. They're no slouches, and they've been doing it for years. So all in all, we're excited for the race, and yeah, Paul's all keen to jump in there and get it across the finish line and start the season off well for us.
Yeah, Tavo has been around the sport for a long time. He's one of those guys that lays it all out there. You always see him, the videos are pretty wild, but he also got an all-wheel drive truck. He is one of those guys that you always have to look after.
Well, Luke McMillan knows how to win, and that's no question. He comes from a dynasty of racing, going back to Corky McMillan, his grandfather, his father, Mark McMillan. So him and his brother Dan, and I know their cousin Andy, he's had a lot of great time out in the desert. These guys are always incredible to watch.
The San Felipe 250 is always intense because the battles are so close. Our rivalry with the McMillans and Luke McMillan, we're always within seconds of each other. You can't afford a mistake, and the pressure's always on. So when we're in front of him, it's like, where's Luke? How close is Luke? Because we know he's right there. And same thing when we're chasing him down. It's like, oh, there he is. Like we can see his tail light. Let's just get him. I have more fun racing against them than I've had racing with anyone else because it's always so close, and we're in matching all-wheel drive trophy trucks. It's just insane how fast we're going.
Bryce, he's a good friend of mine, and me and him have had a lot of experience starting right in front of each other, right behind each other, right there. Tavo's won this race 3 times overall, so he knows what he's doing. He's a 1600 driver. Toby's a bike guy. He knows how to read terrain. Got a lot of talent up here in the top 4. It's going to be interesting starting in the 3rd or 4th spot and pushing these guys around a little bit, or maybe letting them run away. We don't know. It all depends what pace they pick, and our strategy will be changing on the fly.
My biggest motivation is my kids, my wife. I have a 3-year-old daughter, 8-month-old son, so trying to go away for 7 days to come down here, and thank God that technology has led us to be able to FaceTime and to be able to connect with my kids at home. But that's the toughest thing, is I'm taking away 7 days that I could spend with them to come down here. So my biggest motivation is knowing that I'm away from my family, and when I'm down here, I need to put in 110%, because if I'm not, why am I here? I should be there.
We're here at San Felipe 250, and all I want to do is win this race.
There's a red number plate with a 1 on it. We want to keep it this year and next.
We're always going for race wins, and we'd love nothing more to get another San Felipe win, as long as we can keep doing this stuff. The Baja 500 we won last year, we'd love to get another one of those. And same, we have never won the Baja 400 overall, so I guess that'd be a big goal this year, is try to get that one in. But it's really just continually staying on the podium and making our sponsors proud. BF Goodrich Vision Wheel, KC Lights, Fox Shocks, VP Fuels, all of them, and everyone else that supports us. Really, I'm proud of them, and I'm doing this for them, and their hard work is pays off for our results.
The last race that we won, was 2016. And that bothers me to an infinite extent. I'm trying to do a couple of different things in my preparation for the race. I'm trying to be a lot more detail oriented. I want to win. That's the only reason we're down here. I'm not down here to have a great time and to hang out with my buddies and to go drink beers and to enjoy the Sea of Cortez. I'm here to win. And when that doesn't happen, it just pisses me off. And it motivates me even more. So that's the goal. 2023, that's the goal.
Baja is special. It's man, machine against the terrain.
Yeah, it's challenging, it's tough, it's life-threatening. I mean, this is the hardcore off-road racing. This is the rough as it gets, but that's what it's all about. These guys come down here, they want to get through that challenge. They want to say, I just beat Baja. And that's really what it's about, is coming down here. You want to beat all the competitors, but first to beat them, you got to beat Baja.
I still get nervous though at the start of every single race. You have those butterflies. I mean, we're doing 140 miles an hour through the desert. So at any point in time, things can go really bad.
Super competitive trophy truck and trophy truck spec classes, it's still an all-out sprint. These guys, they leave the line, they start getting a pace down, and they're on the gas the whole time.
Off the line.
These trucks and these vehicles, the technology is so next level now that it's not about how much abuse some of these trucks could take through some of the whoops and the gnarly sections, it's how much abuse your body could take.
I'm safer in my race truck than all of my chase guys who are chasing the race, right? Whether it be the roll cage on the truck, whether it be my fire suits, whatever. I have the best stuff on, you know? So I worry more about them than I do about myself. And that also allows me just to go fast. You know, like I don't worry about that stuff, but stuff happens. Last year at the Baja 1000, unfortunately we had a fire on the truck, and you know, as long as we're all okay, it's fine.
It's one of those deals where you have to be in control of your vehicle. You have to know what you're doing, because at any point in time, things can go really bad. But it also is one of those spots where you feel like you're down here and the fans love you for what you're doing. They support you so much that you're going sometimes in the middle of the night, 1 a.m., and you come around a corner and there's a group of people just cheering you on. So Baja is why I come back racing every single year. How excited they are for us to be down here keeps me coming back. Racing in Baja is very dangerous. I mean, there is no closed roads. All the roads are open. These are local roads. So at any point in time, there could be a car coming backwards or animals. The locals really like to dig booby traps and cause havoc.
Baja Peninsula, when God created it, He created it for off-road racing.
You got to have a tenacity to come out here and race Baja. That's one of the things. You got to have that never give up, never surrender attitude, because it will throw every possibility to take you down. Baja, she could be a cruel, cruel mistress, but she could also embrace you. So things can be going really great, and all of a sudden everything goes wrong. You break out in the middle of the desert, there's no one around.
Right straight through, rock center, and then stay left 4 inside. Good job.
Down here, you know, you're kind of on your own, and that's the cool part about this is you got to use your head to get out of problems or fix problems, or you know, if there are emergencies, you better have done your homework.
If you get it in your head and you're like, well, I can roll over here, or the truck can catch fire, right? Oh my God, what am I gonna do? You've lost. You're already lost.
We have an excellent group at the shop. They don't just work there. They live this daily, and it's their passion also, not just mine, and that really helps.
Yeah, in desert racing, one of the biggest things is having a guy that will sit next to you, being a co-driver. He's got to be a therapist. He's got to be a navigator, tell me where to go, calm me down. So having Orrin is honestly one of the best things ever. He's been with me for, I want to say, going over 5 years now, and we've won a lot of races. He's the guy that rides with me every single time.
Oh man, being with Menzies Motorsports is awesome. This team, between the Menzies family and the crew that they have working on stuff, like it's a top tier program. Everyone gets along really well, and when we come to races, we're trying everything we can to win a race, which is fun.
But it also is a relationship. You have to feel comfortable with the guy sitting next to you. We're doing 140 miles an hour through the desert, and when he says a left's coming up, you better trust that it's a left, because if it's a right, you're crashing really hard. So it's a big commitment to have that relationship with your co-driver, trust in him. That's a big part of racing.
You know, Javi's I think an amazing story, because Javi got to our shop as an 18-year-old kid. He just wanted to be part of the race team. And he literally started like washing the chase trucks, right? That was his job. And then he started prepping the chase trucks. He started taking on more and more and more responsibilities. And you know, now he's responsible for Blackjack number 21. It's been so long now, what is it, like 16 years or whatever it is that we've been racing together. We know each other very well. I know what his head is thinking. I know he knows where my head's at. So it's comfortable. It's comfortable. We've been successful. We've set trucks on fire together. We've rolled trucks together. We've We've done a lot of stupid stuff and we've done a lot of cool stuff.
Watch for rocks, caution. Rocks both sides, and then a right forward, caution. Stay left. Stay left. Toby's done. I think he's done. Tie right 5, rocks outside, blue dot. Hey, let's keep it smooth, brother. Left 4 down. Drops off right 3. Stay left under the bridge.
You got to be crazy to want to do this. Us off-road racers, yeah, to come down here, this is the most grueling race series. This is the gnarliest terrain anywhere.
Absolutely believe that this is a survival of the fittest when it comes to it. The element of the danger, the adrenaline rush. We're all adrenaline junkies that are racers, and you want to find the most extreme adrenaline rush you can, you come to Baja and race.
It's almost a survival thing. I mean, it takes a lot of skill, a lot of homework, they know where they're going, but there's a lot of luck and a lot of survival involved. You know, you're trying to push the envelope, go as fast as you can go. You want to be the first to that finish line.
When you do dangerous stuff, you have to be ready for the consequences. It's racing out in the desert, and inherently it's very dangerous, and we just try to push it out of our head and go race as fast and hard as we can.
It's survival. It's survival of the baddest for sure. This is it. This is what it's all about. This is the World Desert Championship Series.
This is 83, you're at the finish. Dude, killed it. Back to back. Yeah. Yeah.
It was an absolute full-on sprint off the start, and I knew it. I chuckled. I was sitting on stage, and I watched Tavo take off, and he took off, and I was just like, oh my gosh. I knew he was going to go after Toby, and I knew Bryce would be smart. He's a very smart driver, but then we started getting Bryce, and we all started moving. Baja is all about, keep moving. Don't stop, no downtime, no issues. And good things will come if you just keep moving. So that was the plan all day. Just no flat tires, no downtime. Just move, move, move.
One of those days, it started out really well. We picked off Tavo that was in front of us early and got right behind Toby, and we're running a good pace. And we were running around 130 through some of the washes. It made up a ton of time, but in this short of a race, it's really hard to gain that much time back, especially with the issues that we were having. But overall, epic race, very challenging. I'm ready for a massage and a drink. and then we'll get back to the drawing board, try to figure out, you know, why we were having these issues that we had, and then it's on to the next one, man.
It was fun while we were going good. Truck was working great, and just unfortunately towards the end, just kind of couldn't put it together there. And we'll be back for the 500.
It was a fun course, a very challenging course.
Catch me if you can, right? Because I'm going to go hard at the Baja 500 and I want to win that thing again.